Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby, and this is the show that's powered by our advertising agency, Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications. It's all brought to us by our friends at FWRSA. FWRSA, tax and accounting professionals, ladies and gentlemen, that'll work hard for your business until the cows come home. They're located in Clive. Also, Bike World. Bike World, the store that supports the sport, located in Ames, West Des Moines, and in the great city of Urbandale. Bike World. Welcome aboard. Picked up my new bike yesterday from Bike World. It's very nice. Now if I can just learn how to re-ride. This is going to be an interesting conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Just recently, Greg Borzo, who is the brother of our friend David Borzo and Shelley Borzo here in Des Moines, wrote a book about the subject of RAGBRAI. This is the cover, if we can put that image up, of the new book. It's called, appropriately, RAGBRAI. He's also the author of the book, The Chicago L, A History of the Elevated Trains in Chicago. He's just released that book called RAGBRAI. Borzo's gathered hundreds of stories that reveal the essence of this unique event that's taking place in just a couple of weeks here in Iowa. He's also gathered a lavish collection of photographs, cartoons, vintage and contemporary, most never published before. It all illustrates RAGBRAI's unique place in history here in Iowa. And excuse me while I look a bit like Edward R. Murrow, we have Greg on the phone with us. Greg, welcome to Insight on Business.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
Well, it really is exciting. We're going to go ahead and put up this image of your book again while you and I have a conversation. Great image. We've got a morning image and an evening image, it looks like, as riders are traversing the great state of Iowa. Greg, tell us a little bit about why this book.
Well, the ride just turned 40 years.
Yes. And
no one has ever taken a real comprehensive, complete look at the history, the origins, and the development of this great ride, which happens to be the oldest, largest, and longest bike touring event in the world.
Yeah, it is. And even though those of us who are involved in bicycling and cycling adventures and those kinds of things know about this, there's a great amount of history that may have preceded many of the active riders as far as age groups, because it's 40 years old.
That's right. Yeah, and you're familiar with it probably in Iowa, but around the world, it's also very famous. After the Tour de France, it's the most famous biking event in the world. So, Mike, you said you just got a bike. I hope you get out there and ride at least a piece of RAGBRAI this year.
As a matter of fact, I am. I've had a bicycle for years. And it was about 11 years old. It was a touring bike. I mean, it was whatever it was. I don't know. Now I bought a road bike yesterday.
Great.
So yeah, my bride is the president of the Des Moines Cycle Club, which kind of makes this inherent that I must do.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, even better. So the book RAGBRAI, we talk about all kinds of photographs that are in here and cartoons and some things that have not been published before. How'd you put your hands on those?
Well, people shoot photos along the way, yes. And I met people by doing the ride several times, twice completely. And so along the way, you meet people and you get to know them, as that's one of the big things about RAGBRAI, is everyone's so friendly. Yeah. And so here's an example. There's a fellow who does RAGBRAI. Every day after that, he gets in a paraglider and floats around above the route, waving at all these other cyclists who are still cycling. And he's got some great pictures from the sky, looking down on the cornfields and the rows and ribbons of bikes.
It's beautiful.
And so he provided me with some of these photos.
Well, I see that John Karras did your forward, one of the founders, the co-founder of RAGBRAI.
That was an honor.
Yeah, who John is, the people that started this years ago are absolutely shocked and surprised that it ever took off.
That's right. They expected this to be just a one-year kind of a little spin across the state, but it has developed beyond everybody's expectations.
Now, I suspect
It'll never go away.
Yeah, well, now that, the Des Moines Register, of course, was very leery of this 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And some of our good friends in the publishing business, when they started this whole thing, they had to pressure the Register to even get on board, and now it's a signature product of the Register, right. And they have marketed it so effectively all around the world, and now digitally, people can join in and take part in this almost, by being in other parts of the world.
Very true. Yeah, to their credit. So,
well, congratulations on this. RAGBRAI begins in just a couple of weeks.
Should I tell you one of my little favorite stories?
Yes,
that I heard?
Please.
One day during RAGBRAI, some bicyclists were relaxing, and they saw a lady roll over to the curb in a car with a flat tire. And so they helped her change the flat, and as the flat was being repaired at a nearby shop, they just went ahead and rotated her tires while they were at it. So, that shows how friendly Iowa is. Anyone will help someone with a flat tire eventually, but only in Iowa will they rotate your tires while the flat is being fixed.
Yeah, it is an amazing adventure. My friend Christy Vilsack, former First Lady for the state of Iowa, is a supporter and also a rider on RAGBRAI, and she is loaded up with all kinds of stories and never tires of the fact, whenever she's out speaking, talking about how often that she's just shocked someone about little tidbits of Iowa history that goes along with the riders who come from all over the world to enjoy RAGBRAI. Greg Borzo, ladies and gentlemen. Greg, your other book is called, well, you've got several as a matter of fact. The Chicago L, I think, is probably well known in your town of Chicago, the history of the elevated train. Sounds like a great book.
Thank you. Yes, it's incredible how people grumble about our L, when it runs a little late or something, or when it gets crowded. But once they read about the history of it, they just appreciate it more than ever.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Just a couple of weeks before RAGBRAI, where can people buy the book?
It is for sale at the publisher's website, historypress.net, just historypress.net.
Historypress.net, and also I think I'm Barnes & Noble online.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah. That's where I saw it.
Good. And also, I'll be writing across the state, and I'll be happy to sign copies for people along the way, or meet up with them and hear their stories.
Well, we hope among the thousands and thousands and thousands of riders that we can meet up.
I hope so, too.
All right. Greg Borzo, ladies and gentlemen, brother of David Borzo, a native of the city of Des Moines, now living in Chicago, and an author of several books. His latest, RAGBRAI, America's Favorite Bicycle Ride. Good luck to you, and thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Very nice. RAGBRAI brings around all kinds of individuals, and this year it comes through Des Moines. And for the first time in several years, and they're expecting literally thousands and thousands of people at Waterworks Park. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation with Creighton Cox, ladies and gentlemen. Creighton is the executive director of the Home Builders Association of Greater Des Moines. We're talking about home prices, home starts, taxation issues, and a little bit about a surprising thing that's going on in the community of Urbandale. All those and a bunch more when we visit with Creighton Cox of the Home Builders Association of Greater Des Moines. That's coming up next on Inside on Business, the News Hour.